Hey, I just want to make a quick video to remind you to think about how everything is happening all at once. Like that movie that came out, the title was like Everything Everywhere All at Once. Haven't seen it yet, heard it's good. But think about just in this now moment that like everything is happening. Isn't it? Like the cows in the university field by the Trader Joe's are like probably sleeping right now, but then during the day they're grazing. Or like the grocery store you go to is running and operating. There's probably people you know that are working there in this now moment. Your friends that you're not around right now, past coworkers, like that might still be at that job. Like, everything is happening right now. The hospital you were at 6 years ago that you haven't been to because you don't even live in that city, and like it's happening. And you can tune into this video at any time and just remember, like, those things are still happening. It's always just everywhere. It's so hard to even conceive of because we can't. And to also think of the amount of things that you don't know, like that you haven't learned yet, that are being applied right now. Doing all these crazy things, like people building businesses that you've never even thought to build. Like all the intricacies that it takes to start up a mechanic shop, you know, or an internet money investment, like where you invest other people's money and you start it up from scratch or something, or like some sort of drop shipping, like you're making your own thing, like a Etsy store. All these things took at least one person or collective of people to really figure out all the kinks and build it so that it works and accounts for everything that's going to happen. And there's a lot of help along the way. This is all collective efforts. Everyone needs teams. Everyone needs other people. Even when they do something themselves, they needed the upbringing of their parents. They needed the friends in their childhood. Like, everything is a team effort when you really think about it. But just recognize, like, how much is going on, especially the things you don't know. The app game, the game you play on your phone, had to get made by a person or group of people, and making it is not anywhere near as easy as learning to use it or play it, right? It's a whole like coding niche, like knowledge base where like not very many people have any clue how to do that, because it's a whole other line of work. And with a little helicopter buddy flying by, and every single business and all the things they account for. And like, I just looked at this box here that's like got this Office Depot on it, and it's like underneath it says what you need and what you need to know. Honestly, that inspired me making this video, because I was like, what you need to know. So they're probably offering a lot of information about how to run an office or build an office so that they can sell you their tools, their paper, their binders, their fax machines or stuff. They're going to give you these rules. I never knew that, but when it says what you need to know, they probably have a knowledge base. That's part of their business. The guy who started Office Depot was like, okay, let's sell a bunch of office-related goods and some like home goods, but pens and pencils and all this shit. And then also probably offer like, here's how to run an office. If you're starting an office, here's all the things to account for and what you'll need. He probably, or a group of people who started Office Depot, understood to provide that information. But you never knew that. I never knew that Office Depot provides know-how about running an office. But they probably do. I haven't even looked it up, but that's probably the case. There's so much going on that hasn't been accounted for. And every single like human creation was a real like undertaking. Every single painting had to go through the process of being painted, and a lot of these processes for people become natural, and then there's just a flow of life. And we could get into the whole how humanity is just an aspect of nature that flows in a very unique way. And we should also recognize, I don't want to go off too much on a tangent, but recognize nature. There's so much going on that has nothing to do with human man-made creation. There are trees that just naturally grow and animals that frolic. There's so much going on in our world that has nothing to do with like our enterprise as humans. But the reason I went off into the tangent of all this business and all the what people have to do to create a business, that's more so, I think, our role as humans. And this is why you can't always at every moment be thinking about everything going on all at once, because you're a human. It's fun to recognize, and it's fun to listen to a video like this and, like, you know, get in that mind frame of sitting back and thinking about, like, the preschool you went to, and is it still being run, and like everywhere you've been in your life, right? But you can't, because you have to go about your day and do your thing. But having a good conscious awareness, like you do the greater outside world, towards your own life and what you have to do, you probably have a purpose, an enterprise that you need to push forward. And you've got to wake up, because I had to wake up to the reality of being a creating human being and working in the system and, say, creating your own business. Or even if you're still, your purpose is like getting an education or working for somebody, you still have to like recognize you're enterprising in this life. You're captaining your ship, you know, captain's log, star date, your life. And just recognize like what you have to do to create your enterprise, the details, the intricacy. Every restaurant you go to, I mean, there's a time of night where it has to get mopped up, and like things you don't see. There are things that had to be put into place for the restaurant creator, the owner, the guy who made it, for it to work. And he probably had help. He probably had information that he was taught about how to run a business. It wasn't all like him coming up with this, but he had to account for it and set up when the hours are going to be, and when we're going to clean up, and when we have to prep food. Working at like a restaurant or any business, and like when you really think about how it's run, there's a lot going on. It's really an amazing thing, like figuring out how to run a business. And whatever you're doing in your life, it's not whatever, it's important. It's your purpose. And what is it going to take? What kind of daily routine do you need to implement? What advice, what emotional states do you have to really focus on and try to like, what ones do you have to avoid or like really work through if they come up? I'm not saying push away your feelings, but like what are you doing that has nothing to do with your enterprise, what's going on in the world? Because I've been there. I've been isolated. I've been in a place where you're just unconscious and you're more likely depressed, and you need to reach into your enterprise and the enterprise of everything, all the enterprises going on this earth. Think about that. Think about what role you have to play and how you can actualize it and get real and understand that it's the realization of what you have to do is similar to the realization of how real the world is and all the things going on, and how there's so much you don't know, and there's so much being implemented. For one tree to grow, it has to do so many things. For a business to be run, a restaurant to run, it has to do so many things. For Office Max or whatever to be set up, it has to do so many things that you don't even see and maybe have never been conscious or known about. And when you go into your enterprise, recognize you're going to be doing a lot that people are never going to know or see. You have a lot to account for to run your business as a human being and to take care of your business. And you got this. You're here to thrive, baby. So let's rock and roll. All right, I'll see ya.